like I'm on the brink of something beautiful, or maybe terrible. I know I shouldn't ask you to be open with me when I have my secrets that I tend to keep safely under lock and key. I'm hypocritical, but at least I know we could be beautiful, or maybe terrible. Only one way to know. Only one way to know. Is this a yes or a no? Which way will it go? Only one way to know. Only one way to know.
Hey there, gang. Welcome back to the freaking Tavern. Welcome back to ABHAILE, and welcome once again to the Riven Coast. When last we left off, it was a cloudy, cold first day of Nithara here in the snow-covered streets of Maraglen, a city situated along the Evermarch Road deep in southeast Borealia. Our newly forged group of heroes, calling themselves the Disinherited, found themselves together in Brant's Tap House after varying degrees of difficulty making their individual ways into town. Earlier this morning, our group made their way to the Lord's Hall, the Center for Commonwealth Government here in Maraglen. In Maraglen. I keep pronouncing it wrong, and I made the town. It's goofy. And with a generous donation from Adrian Starflower, you've all been presented with work permits to pursue freelance ventures within the bustling city walls. With your newly minted work permits in hand, you all split, with Adrian, Melee, Cal, and Tome checking out the civic library here in the hall, enjoying the warmth and taking a moment to pore over the annals of information, curiosities, and magic that may have lay within. Meanwhile, heading out on the town, Finn and Hunter set out into the brisk morning air, searching for drugs. Upon reaching the crowded thoroughfare that is the Evermarch, Finn, you caught sight of a small figure watching from an adjacent alleyway, who immediately bolted upon feeling the weight of your gaze. So, we're going to pick up right there. The Evermarch right now is white, snow-covered, bustling with traffic. Wagons and carts are passing by northward and southward, as all around you, activity and life, as merchants are starting to clear snow from their storefronts and setting up food stalls for midday. And folks are walking to and fro. Hunter, as you start across the road, giving chase at the urging of your small companion, can you make me a perception check to try and keep your eyes on this little figure as you are making your way through traffic?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Perception.
Yes, sir.
That's a 14.
14. Heck yeah. Perfect. Your eyes, trained from years surviving the wilds, instantly find the little guy as he darts down, looks like an alleyway, heading eastward, which is away from the, you guys are kind of, if you're thinking about it, like Main Street. He's going eastward, which, give me just a moment and I'll, kind of re-demonstrate what that might, whoops, that's the wrong map. I don't want to load that. Let's load that. Speaking of this, I got in contact today with somebody to get us an actual map of this bad boy drawn up. So you guys are leaving here, and this little figure is, okay, I'm sorry, you guys are leaving here. I've got this on the wrong side of the road. I'm mistaken.
The purple is the road, correct?
Yeah, purple is the road. So you guys are going
Okay.
eastward into the kind of residential sprawl, as it were.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So one more second. So Finn, are you following suit with Hunter, or what are you up to?
I am gonna follow suit, but something tells me Hunter's got this, so I am not going to be quite as in a rush. I'm gonna be, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, every once in a while looking up for the big, the horns of my new tiefling friend as he gives chase.
Okay.
Stop, buy an apple, flip him a coin, and just kind of keep on going in that same direction.
Gotcha. So as each of you guys are kind of making your way, Finn in your own little way, you're going to be moving a little bit slower pace, so DCs will be a little bit lower for you, but that will, affect your ability to do certain things. So can you guys make me an either athletics or acrobatics check as you try to push your way through the crowd without losing any pace?
I will go with acrobatics. Oh no, that's not one.
Oh no, that's one. Hey.
He's got Walmart crushed.
Tickle me, Elmo!
Unfortunately,
You said
Hunter
perception, correct?
No, athletics or acrobatics?
No, athletics. Yeah, athletics. I'm going to go with acrobatics because I have a +3 of that.
Heck yeah.
Unfortunately, Hunter trips and hits the Family Guy death pose.
I don't know why it rolled twice, but... And why it has Corbin's face on it.
It's okay.
But... Oh, that's because I'm in the copy. That explains it. Give me just a second. Sorry, guys.
You can... So it's not rolling as Finn, or is it just not saying your name?
No, I was in my edited copy. I wasn't in the actual character sheet for...
Gotcha.
Yeah, that...
Yeah, the name is copy of Finlow Sayers, though.
Yeah.
That sounds like a simulacrum.
Maybe it is. Alright, you said acrobatics.
Yeah.
Right. There we go. 15. Or 14.
14? Just enough. So I'll say with the natural one, being this isn't really a combat type of situation, there is... you definitely trip, but as you're getting yourself hoisted up off the ground, you're about in time with Finlow. So mechanically speaking, you guys have just lost a little bit of pace. You still know the direction he went off in. You can still see little people footprints in the snow. So what are you guys doing? Are you guys proceeding down the...
I'm going to reach over to my friend here, give him a pat on the back, and as I'm giving him that pat on the back, I am going to cast Bless on him.
Thank you.
On me and him.
Okay, nice.
So that will allow him to have a little boost. And I'll say, I'll try and stay caught up with you, but my legs don't work quite like yours.
Could I use my survival? Could I use survival to hunt to find the best path and hunting down the most efficient way possible?
Yeah, make me a perception check. Perception or survival, whichever you prefer. Survival, I believe, is kind of what you're...
Survival.
Yeah. 1 second.
Favored foe advantage.
Oh gosh, hold on a second. You're good. I'm sorry.
I'm also gonna hit him with a guidance if you'll let.
23.
23. Nice.
Let's just throw guidance on there, see what it does. All right, 24.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, guys. My
Well, you can't use it for that. I gave it to you after you rolled for it, but Because
never
it's not a reactionary thing. I want to be sure we stick with Jake's rules. So
I think that'd be double concentration too, right? Did you already have bless up?
oh yes, I did. Your guidance does require concentration.
Yeah, it's just
Thank
in
you.
most
Good looking at
situations. In most situations, it. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Okay,
Here.
I think I got cat fixed.
And I think I got those two backwards. I did not mean to do bless. I meant to do guidance on them from the get-go. So
I got you. Bless will still do something. What is the time limit on Bless, though, real quick?
Leave it at 1 minute. Hour?
A minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Concentration.
Okay.
1 minute.
So to that, that'll help you guys out for the next couple portions of this challenge. I'll stretch it out a little bit to make it fair for you guys, so you guys will actually
Awesome.
get some use out of it. You know, Hunter, you rolled a crazy survival check, correct?
Yes, 24,
Hell
23,
yeah,
23.
24 is fantastic. You nailed it. It is. You can definitely see that the alleyway that he ran down is slick, but darting down a little bit, you can also see that there's beyond the alleyway. You can see a row of tenement homes that's long. The alleyway does not continue through, so your survival instincts tell you that this man, the way he was veering, is heading in a direction. You're able to get down an alleyway that is able to, you're able to find a shortcut going down another alleyway. You're able to get pretty close to behind him to the point where you both have eyes on him now. After a few seconds of running down this kind of do you want to, you can both give me a perception check as you guys are out now on an open thoroughfare that is moving through the city, kind of like a collector. Both of you could see the back of him. Go ahead and give me a perception check to see how well.
15.
15.
I think Hunter's definitely using his, social, okay, I know how people hide, I know where people go in terms of these things. So it's okay, that's where he's going.
Hell yeah.
I was too busy lighting my pipe, so I had a 7.
Gotcha. Not too bad though. It is difficult to tell from this far back.
I forgot to do my bless.
Oh yeah. You guys both have bless on that, so yeah.
Yeah, so make that a 9.
9? Hell yeah. Every little bit counts. Finn, you're having a hard time seeing because there's full-size people everywhere.
Hey, smoke in my eye.
Hunter, you're able to see. It's hard.
19.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from this far back, but that's a good roll. You can see that he's either a halfling or a gnome. They've got their hood pulled up, and they're adorned in dark browns and greens. Nothing groundbreaking compared to the normal folk you see around. On his back, he's got a shield that does look. With a 19, it looks like it might be a little bit nicer than your average piece. But again, that's not even that uncommon around these parts. It's nothing like grandiose. It just looks like a little nicer than your average shield. But as you guys are giving chase, he darts down another alleyway. Are you guys pursuing after?
Yeah, still
Absolutely.
Cool. After a few seconds, you guys make it to the alleyway, and the figure's just maybe 40 or 50 feet ahead of you, but he's moving at a pretty good clip, even for a little halfling.
How far away is he from us?
About 40 or 50 feet away, with your earlier stumble.
How many people how many people are near us right now?
Right now, there's no one around. You're in an alleyway.
I shoot him in the hamstrings.
Let's try not to. Do you have any non-lethal shots? Like a walloping arrow?
Yeah. It's an option. If you want to shoot him, you can shoot him. If you want to shoot him, Hunter, roll an attack. You guys are in the middle of a chase.
Stop resisting!
Versus the rest had to shoot him.
Is he 26?
I don't have his character sheet pulled up, and I'm going to tell you right now that a 26 hits. Hang on just 1 second. Let me see if I can find
Does
him.
he have obviously magical or very heavy armor? No.
Yeah, or an illusion.
Actually, this is an ancient gold dragon, and we're fucked.
Damn, you pissed him off.
It's like, is that guy surrounded by canaries?
It's like,
Uh-oh.
but yeah,
Oh no, why do I hear boss music playing?
right.
Anyway.
But go ahead, roll
Why is
some.
it Latin?
Roll some. Well, give me just a second. Actually, I'm going to pull this sheet up real quick.
Ooh.
Because I'm going to need it.
That's the sound that owls make.
Yeah, go ahead and roll some damage for me, Hunter.
It's 11. Can I forego doing damage on this attack to knock him prone?
I will say in this moment, give me a survival check.
Oh my god, I rolled that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Corbin curse has been lifted.
Outstanding.
Fantastic. That's great. Roll some
The
damage.
third not won the session.
That's awesome for me. Roll some damage, man.
That's awesome for me, says the DM.
11 damage.
11 damage, that's not too bad. He's okay. I mean, he goes down. You hamstring him good. He nosedives. He's still up. He's still alive. He's flailing. You see as he lands, this is a good thing to note. As he lands, he skids. And you look down at your feet and you're on the last vestige of snow in this alleyway before it turns to hard packed ice that is gathered from rooftop runoff. So there's a good possibility y'all would have busted your butt there. I was this close to asking for dex saves. But fantastic. Your arrow fires off, and we'll say for the sake of not maiming him, because you were intending to try and go easy on the little fella, we'll say that you were able to bounce the arrow off the ground. You were probably trying to maybe go for, like, bounce it off in front of him to, like, stop him maybe, but it bounces up off the ground and kind of grazes into his butt cheek a little bit. C'est la vie. We will cut back to you guys here in just a moment, though. That was an awesome little chase sequence. You ended it way before I was expecting you to, but that is how the cards pulled.
Way to go, Will.
No, that's awesome, guys. I love that. It just means there's a different way to tell the story now, and that's what D&D's about.
Teamwork, baby. I watch and provide the luck.
Hell yeah. So, real quick, we're going to snap back over to the rest of you, spread throughout the Civic Library at the Lord's Hall. Hildy, the young administrative assistant with cocaine energy, has just let you all inside to look around, but letting you know that this isn't a checkout type library, as most of these things are in this vast, dusty collection are just your average tax ledgers, deed records, and like compiled histories and things like that of families in the area, as well as like crop yields, administrative stuff for the most part. Tome, you'd found in your searchings a pretty rough-looking copy of, well, I'm not sure if Tome knows what a truck stop smut novel is, but
No.
once he dives into Once Bitten, Twice Blind, well, you're gonna learn. The problem with a lot of the library here is simple. A large number of books in this room are simply not labeled. I'll say, without an insight check, Tome, as a construct that spent a fair amount of time cataloging data and doing administrative handiwork on occasion as needed, although in a different vein, in a different light, in a different way, you can tell looking at this room that it would be an absolute nightmare to go through every book, find out what they are, and label them. But because as a matter of fact, what looks to be kind of, as you're kind of looking around, poking around for some magic spells or anything that you can find, it looks intriguing to you because a large portion of the library is just private journals and maybe transcribed manuscripts with just absolutely no, they're just a leather-bound book that has nothing on it. So, you know, you poke through as many as you can, but it's a lot. I will say, roll me one more investigation check as you are like trying to look through these
Sure.
these like private journal sections.
That is a 17.
17 is much better than the 12 we had the other day. It is. Okay. Fantastic. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, I like to imagine by this point, since I probably would have had 10 minutes, there's like an unseen servant just handing me books. I'm like, no, 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 no. And there's just like a neat pile next to me that like these books are just floating, like a few pages. No, 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 no. Swipe left. Swipe left. No.
Heck yeah.
No.
I will, interestingly enough, the one that looks the least promising, it didn't even look like a book at first to you. It's a burned half copy of a manuscript of some type. It looks like it's set in water or mud. The binding is missing huge chunks of pages that have been taken out. It's barely holding together. But as you kind of just cursory, you know, your construct nature, your inquisitive soul inside of your little metal body not allowing you to leave a page unturned, you flip through it and find that this was likely. Well, we'll say, give me an Arcana check and see if we can find out what this was likely.
Processing. Processing.
If you wanted to guidance this, you absolutely can as well.
I will guidance that. With that roll, I will guidance it. Yeah, when it comes to checks where you tell me, I'm just gonna wait until you tell me I can do it.
Well, it'll get comfortable. I think we'll start to get the idea of it.
Yeah. I don't want to be being like, I'm gonna guidance everything.
In this instance, the way I feel, and the way I feel for this is like, you succeeded on the investigation check, and this is a follow-up check that you're now actively making, so it makes sense that you could, you know...
that is a 12 on my Arcana check.
A 12? Fair enough. It's a low DC because there's not much here, but you are confident that what you're looking at one point was a rudimentary spellbook of a hedge wizard or something. Like I said, from the fire damage and the water damage, much of it is unusable. you do find one page that is salvageable, and it contains a scroll, which, not a scroll in the sense that it is a copyable scroll. It's not a castable scroll. There's a difference, and I don't understand it that much myself. But it's a copyable spell, not a spell scroll that like anyone can use in that respect.
Interesting. What's spell? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Is it more of like a latent magic that exists in a castable spell?
Oh no! So there's actually a difference. I just don't have a wizard pulled up right now. But if you click on the spellcasting part of wizard and pull up that side panel in D&D Beyond, it does explain that there is a difference between like transcribing a spell to like from one wizard to another, or the type of spell. Like a wizard can learn from a spell scroll, but there's also like specific.
It's a check.
Yeah.
And what spell do I find?
You find alarm.
I do not have that spell.
Fantastic, because that was a random roll, buddy.
I do have 50 GP worth of materials. The only problem is this book can't be taken but one of its pages. Surely what I'm saying. Am I being watched at the moment?
I'll make a perception check.
Alright, I'll do a perception check.
I just feel like this robot head just starts like projecting the scanning lasers.
I just start. You know what happens is that he kind of looks left, looks right, spins around.
Yeah.
Searching.
Turns his head in a complete 360 degree.
Full exorcist.
Calculating visual perception. That's a 12.
12? Not too bad. It looks like it's just you guys in here. Hildy, the administrative assistant, had came in and like shown Adrian a few books, but she had other duties to attend to, and she's returned to back to whence she came.
Excellent. Well, considering the rest of this book is worthless garbage, I am going to extract the one thing that is of use.
Right on, man. You are able to with little to no effort.
I will stow it in my bag for later.
All right. And Adrian, I believe, like I just mentioned, Hilde had been able to find you a couple books to thumb through. One had a well-worn leather cover with gold foil stamped into the binding reading Legacies, containing a collection of folk tales and legends common amongst the territory. The other, a Borealan's field guide to interacting with the Hollow Folk. This one, interestingly, is rough as heck. Not as bad as the spellbook tome just found, but rough. The leather on the cover's been bent, pages have been ripped out, and it looks like it's had ink spilled or poured on several pages, like spreads on the inside of it. You can make an insight check on the book if you'd like for free.
Is it an insight check? Alright. Not my most impressive. Yeah, 9.
Even with a 9, it looks like it probably, like, tinfoil hat time. This book's been vandalized is kind of what it looks like. It's kind of got that vibe to it, which makes me sad deep in my brain. And real quick too, Melee, were you were reading over someone's shoulder? Was it Adrian that you were reading over?
Sorry, what did Adrian say they were going looking for initially?
I'm looking for a ghost ship. There's
Okay.
one that's supposedly off the coast, so I'm looking for
That was
information
what-
about
I was going to look for information related to the ghost ship.
I got
Or,
you.
I mean, just spirits in general would be cool too.
I got you. Yeah, as you guys kind of like put your noggins together on these books, Cal, you had found the diary of Jane. Oh wait, no. The Diary of Cilado. I pronounced it wrong last week. I think I called it Clydo or something. Cilado. It's Cylado. Anywho, in his writings, this guy is rambling on about portals to other lands, and it's a bit off. Like he's missing a screw or two in the old noggin, or he's not supposed to have screws in his noggin, and he's got a few too many. But as you guys are all reading through your various books there, you guys want to roll me just a regular old d20, see if we can find any information that you guys can glean from this. Melee, you're welcome to as well. Tome, you're even welcome to.
Yeah,
see
14.
I'm quite literally a data collection machine.
Heck yeah.
Well, let's see if that translates to, I think, a good dice roll.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to guess not. Oh, never mind. That's a 15.
Wow. Now we just need Cal to get within one of you. Get a 16, Cal.
Come on. Come on, Jack.
Do it.
Do it.
No, she doesn't have a mouse and she's never used this laptop before.
I believe in you, Kat.
An 11.
11?
You can do it.
That's not bad. Not bad at all. Tome, you, we'll start with you, because that one's easy. You are able to, as you're, examining the remainder of this burnt spell book, you are able to, hold a page, one of the waterlogged pages, up to the light of a candle that's nearby in a sconce, and you're able to read a last name, and that last name is Valemore, which is Vaelmore. Not sure what it means, but it likely means something. And Adrian, as you're thumbing through your book, you are coming across it is mostly folklore in the one. So you're hearing things like the where in the world is Carmen San Diego? You're seeing whoops, I'm in the wrong thing. I got a GPT that I have loaded everything in the Legends of Abilene into now. So I'm just getting used to that. But anyways, the type of things you're seeing are the singing stones of Beltarn, and you recognize Beltarn as the name of one of the nearby settlements. In the cliffs near there, stones hum softly when struck by the wind. Legends say that they're the hearts of giants who once roamed the coast when a young bard played a melody on the stones during a dire storm. The winds calmed and the sea stilled. And since then, sailors leave an offering at the cliffs, hoping that the stones will protect them from the tempests. And then another one you find is the Wailing Willow. Somewhere near the lanterns, an ancient willow whispers in the wind. It's said that a young healer named Saraline once saved her village from a deadly sickness, but was blamed for a blight that followed. Fleeing into the woods, she planted her staff in despair, and it grew into the willow. And on nights of the new moon, her voice echoes through its branches, offering cures to those pure enough to brave the dark. A lot of things like that, where it's really hard to verify or trust what you're reading.
Right.
Melee.
Sounds
Go ahead. Sorry, Adrian. Sorry.
Sorry, I guess I'm going to keep thumbing through, and I'm looking specifically for any type of legend, anything in reference to either some traveler or sailor going out, or maybe some visitor sailor coming.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, especially any relation to any type of treasure or money or MacGuffin of some kind.
Yeah, and as you're sitting there, kind of like you and Melee are sitting there, kind of like hitting this, together. Melee, and you're, I'd say, flipping through the one that looks like it's been kind of vandalized a little bit, just in the effort of giving everybody something to do. You find an account. It sounds similar in vibe a little bit to the stuff that is in Adrian's book, but you find a report actually from a Borealan missionary. The report speaks of the Salt Witch of Reed Harbor. She was a woman once, a mortal woman, who was betrayed by her lover, so the story goes, and essentially leapt from a cliff into the sea and was never found. So that has turned into a local legend as well, where she was turned to brine by the sea's wrath and now allegedly grants wishes to those who can find her. However, the report says locals maintain that if you ever find her, the only way to escape with your life is to leave your wish unspoken and unthought. But that does, at least...
Yeah, is Reed Harbor a place I've ever heard of? I'll probably go over to, sorry, what's your character's name again? The new one?
Mine?
Yeah.
Or Adrian.
Adrian. Oh, you're... Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, if I haven't heard of that, go over and ask him if he's ever heard of it.
Roll me a history check. It's pretty low DC. Because you're...
A 10.
10?
Pretty low roll.
10 is exactly what we needed, man. So, being from Port Umbra, it's the gateway to the Evermarch, so it would make sense that Melee would know. Reed Harbor is a one of the Hollow Folk cities along the coast of Free Folk that have no affiliation with Boreala whatsoever. And Reed Harbor is, in fact, one of the largest ones. And to your knowledge, Melee, you would actually probably know this because, in a way, they were familial competition. It's kind of complicated, but Reed Harbor is one of the, well, it is the only one of the Hollow Folk cities that has a shipyard and is able to produce ships.
Oh, interesting. Well, that might be a place to start at least.
And you would also know that it's super not far. And I would say not far is a, but give me just 1 second. You would know that it's fairly close to Marglin, if not off of the Evermarch. Or wait, I probably, nope, 12. It's this one. It's a little ways away, but it's there.
Yeah, not any further than I've come so far.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then I will bring us back over to here.
I've heard of this place, Adrian. They make ships. I don't know if there's a ghost ship. It may have originated there.
It's definitely worth checking out.
Okay.
You find anything?
Not a lot yet. A couple of very vague, obscure. I mean, I'm finding a lot of nothing. I'm finding a lot, but nothing that can actually help.
Am I finding anything useful in the diary?
Yeah, you are. Cal,
Oh shit.
Cal, the guy is bug nuts crazy. Almost everything is cryptically unbelievable. Like, if you ascend the stairs of truth on the third day of fall under Aru's gaze with an egg in your cap, the portal will open for you, and wonders beyond imagining will assail your senses. And there's a fair amount of sketches depicting local fungi and their medicinal uses. If you want, you can make a medicine or nature check, see if you can make sense of what they're about.
Make sure it's correct. Medicine or nature?
Yeah, whichever. I keep forgetting I'm not on camera.
22.
22, holy cow. Shot us back, guys.
What is that?
With a 22, most, if not all of them, probably not safe for consumption. Probably explains a lot of what's going on in the rest of the book. One of those mushrooms with a 22, interestingly, he is bug nuts crazy. But one of those mushrooms is unfamiliar to you. The rest of them, you could kind of tell what they were. He was at least a good artist. Like, he was good at making his little illustrations. One of them is unfamiliar, and it looks like it's been shaded in with what looks like a blue pencil and a purple pencil and a green pencil, and it's been circled like 85 times, and it has like 17 question marks next to it. It's hard to tell what it is. It's not something you've ever seen before either.
Oh, okay.
But it is interesting.
I will make a sketch of it just in case I run across it somewhere. I'm guessing it's somewhere around here. We might run into it after.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have any like locations of where it's at, but it does seem like it's probably local to the area. Most of these things seem like they're local. Like the locations that he's mentioning are vaguely in the area, but like they're not anything that you've heard of, or like, I mean, it'd be a cosmic miracle if there is such a thing as the stairs of truth, and if having an egg in your hat really has any bearing on that. But as you guys are kind of thumbing through everything, you guys hear an interesting sound coming from the door, kind of a and
So real quick, I'm gonna take the book that I can tell has been kind of marred and vandalized, and I'm gonna kind of stuff it in my leather. And I'm gonna take one of the books off the stack that Tome's just discarding and kind of keep it with mine.
okay.
Just some random book.
Yeah, roll me sleight of hand real quick.
Yeah. There's just like piles of books on the floor. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's really some random. Oh.
10. Yeah, you know, you're deep enough in the library, and you seem like you're pretty confident that you're good. But right about as the time you do make that swap, you guys hear a voice coming from the doorway, and it says, "Good God, you're a Whitlock, are you not?" Talking to you, Cal.
The girl's gonna point at herself and be like, "Me?
Yes.
Do I know you?"
I doubt you do, but I'd recognize you anywhere. And you see, what you see looking at you guys is a tall human man. He's in his maybe lower 40s. you know, he's Rain. He's got a full beard that's kind of got a little salt and pepper going on, and a pair of wire little circular spectacles on. Dressed really sharply, wearing dark blues and silver, with a little collar, like a high collar, like your own. Fairly stylish. He's got a rapier at his side. Interesting. He says, and you don't recognize him. Or well, actually, roll me a history check, Shala or Cal.
So do I recognize him, or do I recognize like maybe the colors he's wearing as being involved in like a house or something?
Yeah, roll me a history check. Yeah, we'll see. See how much Cal pays attention in society.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. I think with a dirty 20, you're good on both things. He is wearing what is traditionally Borealan. Members of the Regency generally will wear shades of blue and silver. It's not super common this far out. Even in Port Umbra, they kind of wear a little bit more relaxed from the dress codes and whatnot. But he does look well put together. And you do recognize him. He, at one point or another, pretty sure, had courted your older sister. Or called on her, at least. Unsuccessfully, but
Okay.
You've seen his face around at least once or twice, not much more than
Do I
that.
recall his name?
You do not, but he
Oh, hello. I'm so sorry. I don't remember your name.
it happens a lot, unfortunately for myself, but it's all right. You can call me titles and all, the Honorable Margrave Lothar Varen, at your service. And everybody in the room is hearing this too, so you guys can all make me history checks as well if you want to, but Cal, go ahead, sir, man.
I will attempt, but I doubt that I will know anything substantial. Although these
Well, you know he lives out here, or is it surprising to see him out here?
Wow, that's a modified for me.
Yeah. Cal, I'll say with a 22 even, you're pretty confident he lived in Port Umbra. But you're hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
And then looking around the Rogues Gallery of Rolls, and Melee doesn't know. That's cool. That makes sense. Adrian, yeah, Tome somehow does, because Tome, man, Tome is something else.
A lot of people. A
Tome,
lot of people got killed by a lot of animals.
Tome, you heard that name when you guys were making your way into town. This is the Margrave of Mariglin. He is, and I'll say, Adrian, you can follow that up with hearing a rumor that he's a recent addition to the town. Up until recently, they had there was a prior Margrave who is no longer in office for whatever reason. And he's
a big important guy.
Yeah, he comes striding in. He's got a little bit of a swagger to him, and so these friends of yours?
My head swivels around as I stand up.
Yes.
And
hello.
And he.
This is. I'll introduce.
I'm just staring at one looking.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure. And he keeps walking towards you, Cal, and he says, "So, I have to ask, call it a formality if you must, but are you here on business with the Blue Sky?"
The group that I'm with, right?
Blue Sky. So Blue Sky Group is your father's company for yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm just here doing a little sightseeing. Wanted to get out of Cordova for a little bit in Spooler.
I gotcha. Let me see if this works. He looks at you a little bit suspiciously. Okay. Well, glad to see a familiar face in town, all the same.
Yes.
What brings you to my delightful little ignored and neglected library?
I'm looking for some information about a ghost ship. Ghost ship, right?
Ghost ship? Well, there's no water here. I don't see how there'd be a ghost ship coming to Margolin, but it's an interesting
Just looking at local lore, seeing if there's anything. You know me, I love to read.
Well, I didn't know that about you, my dear, but I do now. We're all becoming friends. I'm curious to know, though, who you might have heard of this ghost ship from.
We are becoming friends. Just kind of looks around confused.
Of course.
Oh.
Adrian, you mentioned it, didn't you, the ghost ship?
Yes. Yes, the grave robber mentioned it.
Yeah, he looks up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's frozen.
He's
That's
frozen.
really funny.
He looks up
Yeah.
and he's terrified.
That's
technical specialist.
Yeah, everything you just said was frozen up before.
I just thought that you guys were frozen up for me too. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
The whole time he's kind of like nose in a book, but the moment Cal mentions his name, he kind of like snaps the book closed and looks up, and then kind of goes over and like kind of shakes Margaret's hand. Agent Starflower, acquisition specialist. Nice to meet you.
Starflower. There's another name I recognize, but I've never met. Interesting.
Emotion just kind of space just kind of falls a little bit.
No worries, we're all friends here, like I said, but I'm sure, I'm positive. Where did you hear about the ghost ship from?
Stories here and there, rings in pubs from people who may or may not know what they're talking about. I just thought it was worth looking into.
He's gonna roll another thing. Okay, that's better. Okay. And you're with her.
Yes, we are colleagues. In a manner of speaking.
Okay, and he looks back to you, Cal, and he squints his eyes. You can tell he's being inscrutable. It's better.
I'm gonna report back to my father about this. You know who your daughter's consulting with?
My father will hear about this. No. He looks at you. He looks at you again, and One can never be too careful, I guess. Okay. Come over here. Have a seat. I have a tale to tell you. And before we get to that tale, we are going to jump back over to the alleyway where Hunter has just...
Sorry, real quick.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Melee.
When we get up together around him, Melee's gonna try to tuck her book into her bag, I guess.
Okay, roll me sleight. Yeah. I love it.
Welcome to a little town. Libraries. Stay for the fish.
Oh yeah, you're good, Melee. He's not even looking at him. Not even looking at you.
Adrian hears Nemoros mutter to him. I love libraries. They're like mausoleums for trees.
Yeah.
Trees.
Okay.
It is, it is funny because he is talking about corpses.
But yeah, as we will come back to you guys here in just a moment. We're going to go back over to the alleyway where Hunter and Finn have just maimed somebody. What are you guys doing? He's laying on the ground probably 40 feet in front of you guys.
Hunter, I'm gonna ask you to run up and secure him, and I hand over my whip. Here, use this to tie him up.
Gotcha. Hunter just kind of lumbers over to the person who he just like shot in the hamstring.
I got you. While you're going down the alleyway, if you wouldn't mind, will you roll me a dexterity check with advantage just to see if you can stay? Because it is slippery as all get out, but you are aware of that going down.
Will Bless still stay active?
I'll say this will be the last time you can use it, but yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 9.
A 9. With a
10.
Fair.
Yeah, a little bit.
In this instance, I'll say it's just a matter of taking a few extra moments to be careful. But you do get over there, and by the time you're over to him, this little guy is looking up at you, and he's just like, "Yeah, hey, hold it, mister. I don't want no trouble."
Really? You running? Really? Because you running probably gave us the wrong impression there.
It's not illegal. Can't. No, a little fella can't run in the streets no more.
Now when you looks like you're on something, friend.
Finn, as you're walking up, you immediately recognize this individual as Lyle Audette, individual you had met sometime back in Venter's Hollow. He catches your eyes and he's like, "What are you doing here? I thought it was you. Why are you shooting me?"
Hunter, you can let him up. This guy is no more threat to you than I am. I get my whip back. Lyle, what I'm doing here is none of your business. Why are you here? Are you following me?
Roll me a persuasion check. Yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
Fix.
Finlo, what are you
plus.
doing here?
Plus.
I'm sure that D4 will help.
7. Could have made it a 10.
What are you doing here? I asked first, or maybe I didn't, but what are you doing here? I didn't shoot you.
I'm here looking for work. The lighthouse is gone. I'm looking for... It doesn't really matter. Why are you running from me? What are you hiding? Like, why are you trying to make sure I didn't see you?
Thought there might have been the outside chance that you were going to shoot me. That might be why.
Well, I mean, simply from the way you're talking to us, you kind of deserved it.
You shot me.
Hey, you deserve it, I'm sure. I'm sure there's something you've done to me that I have no idea. And my good friend Hunter here, well, he's just a hell of a crack shot. So,
Yeah.
with my busted ass handheld or my busted ass crossbow here, and I toss it over to Hunter. He's got your hit now. So instead of me having to sit here and argue with you about what you're doing, pissed off the dreamer, just for the love of God, look over there. If you don't want 2 more shots, tell me why you're here. Why are you hiding?
I ain't hiding from you. I ain't hiding from you, man. Hold on a second. And you see him reach down and grabs the crossbow bolt in his ass and yanks it out.
And I'm gonna cast let's do a cure wounds on him.
Okay.
Showing me no harm.
Alright.
So he's got an extra 8 back.
Okay. He's looking a lot better as your what's Finn's healing magic look like, just for curiosity's sake?
Finn being a dwarf is very, very in touch
He's a
with
gnome.
nature. And
But-
No.
well, that's what I said. It's just
I think he might have been referring to like the short, not like a species.
Stature, yeah.
Yeah.
so Finn being a dwarf,
No.
Finn being a dwarf-like creature, a gnome, he's very in touch with. That's out. Okay, you don't throw me more off. Okay, so he's very in touch with nature. So it is a very kind of a green aura, very kind of a natural soothing glow, almost like a moonlight, kind of like a very kind of a pale, eerie glow.
Okay, I gotcha. As it sets in on Lyle, and he looks up at you and he's like, well, thanks. I guess it's the least you could do. I'm just here looking for work too, man. I saw you walking down in the street. I thought it was you, and I wanted to get a better look and see what you was up to, because it looks like you're coming in for a work permit, and that means we're gonna have to be competing for it. That's all. I was just trying to see what was up.
Well, we already got one about that.
Okay, well, if it's all the same to you, I was just gonna go down to the temple and try and not get shot no more today.
Well, I mean, don't go running away from people don't go running away from people with that evil, stupid look on your face, and you won't have people running after you trying to shoot you.
Yeah, dude, it's the only look I got, man. I do what I can, but it's just all I got.
And then,
Shoot him, we call him ugly.
Yeah.
hey, you know what? This guy's kind of a rat face.
And just to paint you guys a little picture of old Lyle here, let me see if I can hop over here into Discord. I do have a little image for you of him.
Oh no.
He looks a little Samwell Tarly coded. He's harmless, probably. If I could figure out, there he is. He's just a little bean. That's Lyle. Anywho, heck yeah.
I want to take him.
You want to take him?
I want to take him.
Kick him.
Kick him.
Don't kick the
He looks very
baby.
capable.
Not the mama.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
So,
He
before this little dude gets up and runs away, or scurries off back to his life, you see Finlow's going to reach down, he's going to help him up, and he's going to give the symbol of peace, or the symbol of, their goddess, which is, since their goddess is a big part of the moon, their closed fist counts as the moon. The hand above and at the ankle is the goddess blessing you. So
okay.
he raises his hands up and does this, and they bow to each other. Peace out.
dig it.
Whatever else you want to do.
I dig it. I
It's
dig
like
it.
Sugar immediately shoots up Hunter's spine and is like, cool.
Normal people. And he's like, all right, well,
Okay, buddy?
next time don't shoot me, but I'll see you around, I guess. Tell your friend to watch it.
Rumors, blessings.
He scurries off now. But yeah, you guys are still on the hunt for your goods, right?
Yeah. So we need to get to the gate up north and ask for Thorin Ashvale, if I'm correct.
I gotcha. Yeah, we'll kind of fast forward a little bit just to get you guys over there, just so we don't have to, constantly be, moving through town. But it takes you guys a good 15 minutes or so to navigate through town, as it's coming quite to life. It's a busy little town, population around 3,000. With around midday, there's food carts that are being put up all along the Evermarch Road, which kind of they kind of try and Route 66 the traffic on the road a little bit, and even out here on some of the side streets, you see food cart stalls setting up at some of the crossroads and intersections that are a little wider. It looks like maybe some of those people in the know might use some back roads to get away from some of the congestion. It's full Montgomery City style. Just they got one 4-way stoplight in the middle of town, and it's a nightmare. You guys make your way over there, and sure enough, you find the stables that the guardhouse stables. I'll turn it back over to you guys.
I'm gonna walk up to one of the guards. Are there guards at the stable? You said this is also at the gate, correct?
It's at the gate, but it's off to the side. Like if you
like guarded.
Yeah, no, it's even the guard presence here in town isn't as robust as you might imagine. They're doing the best they can this far out. So there's just a couple people look like wearing normal peasant clothing, commoner clothing,
Gotcha.
that are kind of working the stables. You can see there's one. Man, the stables are built up against this wall, the wall of the town, and you can see one of them is leading a young horse around a foal around the little fenced-in area, kind of getting them used to it. And there's a few people around, just look like they're tending to the horses and stuff, taking care of them, things like that.
I'm gonna walk up to. Is there a young male there? A couple young males?
Oh, they're all young men.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna walk up to one of them, look up at him, and go, "I'm looking for Thorin Ashvale. I have a letter from his mother. I need to deliver it to him. You know where I can find him?"
Oh, Thorin? Yeah, he ain't here today. He's caught cold. I think he just didn't want to shovel snow, to be completely honest with you. But what we're gonna do for you, my little friend?
Well, he had something for me that I need to get. It's an artifact used for my religion. Something you can find in a regular place, but looking for some tinkle.
Tinkle? I ain't never heard nobody call a tinkle before. This other kid comes walking up and he's like, "Tickle? That what you're getting at?"
Tinkle, tackle, tomato, tomato. Yeah, same thing.
I ain't never heard of no tomato either.
Well, then you've never traveled, my young friend.
Well, how could you tell?
Because you're here.
Shoot.
In the stables.
Yeah, it's honest work. It's honest work.
Did a good job of it. And I grab and I cast Mage Hand, and I go over and I use my Mage Hand to grab a pitchfork and pick up exactly 5 pounds of hay, minus the weight of the pitchfork, and just start putting it into a different pile, completely unasked, just to make it look like I'm helping them out, even though I'm probably just making their job harder.
You guys see Finlow just, his mind explodes into calculations and stuff as he, like, full on, like, I'm thinking Alan in The Hangover when he's counting cards to do this.
Yeah, exactly. But less
absolutely. 100%.
derelict.
Well, Thorin ain't around, but if you need some herb, we can hook you up.
Please do not refer to such a holy gift from the dreamer as indeed herb.
Ain't no dreamers around here, friend, but we got some herbs that'll make you see things.
You've never heard of the dreamer? Oh, I'll tell you what. For a share in that little tinkle you got there, let's go ahead and smoke, and I'll tell you all about the dreamer.
You buying and supplying, you got a deal. It's I gotta look at my document to tell you how much it costs. What I do, in fact, have.
You high and try to convert you.
And
Hey.
Hey, you know what? This is some new age Mormon-ish.
Does this fantasy religion require medical marijuana?
No, this is how the dreamer communicates, man. It opens up your mind so you can be more receptive to God.
Crazy.
She's real popular in the Fae. Real popular
Look
in
at
the
this.
Fae.
Look at this. She's making an appearance.
Oh, Pepper.
Yeah, Coda made an appearance.
Heck yeah.
She only does this if she really has to go to the bathroom.
Nice.
She's like, take me out. I need to go.
I took her out right before, too. Or she's just really wanting attention, because Larry's been a real butt all day.
That's great. But yeah,
Welcome
we can
to cat ownership.
we can hook you up. It's a gold piece a pound, but we can hook you up. It's imported fresh from pound.
Yeah.
All right. Do you know the wagon labeled the labeled the lighthouse? It is over at, and I tell them where my wagon is.
No, well, we gotta get these stables ship shape for midday.
Well, that's fine. If you can deliver, I'm going to buy 5 pounds off of you.
Well, I ain't got 5 pounds, man. You're like, we break it
How
down
much do
like,
you
holy crap!
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me tell you how
Yeah,
things
that's why I
roll
got
around here.
5 gold.
I
got 5 gold.
I
This is
understand.
from my review.
Just immediately walk up and ask for a felony amount.
You know where I can get a kilo?
you can buy 20 pounds of crack.
So around here,
I get 5 grams of fentanyl, please.
it's interesting that you say. So when I say it's a gold piece for a pound, a lot of people are like, okay, I'll have a silver piece's worth or a couple copper pieces worth. A gold piece around here, my friend, is not common. I wouldn't go around bragging about that.
Oh, I'm not worried. You see my friend? Yes, we're okay.
I do indeed. He looks up to you, Hunter, and he's like, he looks like he's about to try to size you up, but then he immediately reconsiders even thinking about it. He's like, I don't want none of that.
How do you make a passive intimidation check?
Yeah. What's your charisma?
That actually being 11.
Okay. He's still intimidated by you. There's something about your presence with the shadows, and you're.
Listen, man, I'm not here to cause any troubles. I just don't want to have to go looking. Do you know where I can find that kind of weight?
I mean, nah, man. I can sell you a pound. That's as far as I can get you.
All right, I'll take it.
All right. Holy shit. All right. He looks over at
And I
his...
hand him 1 gold piece and 4 silver pieces. And I tell him, take this pound, and I take a handful and I put it in my little herb pouch here. Take this pound, and I write down where my wagon is, and I tell them exactly where to put it.
Okay, right
If it
outside
is
of
not-
Brant's Tap House, right on the main.
Yep. If it is not there when I return, you won't see me again. You'll see him.
Well, now we're threatening people. He hands you back the 4
No,
silver.
we're not threatening. We're not threatening. I'm just telling you.
Well, listen, my
That's
friend. I'm
true.
going to tell you again. I can't just walk out of my job for a gold piece.
All right.
I'm going to give you the
Alright.
pound, and that's going to be our transaction, but I appreciate you. And if you want to
Alright,
smoke
I
us out, you're more than welcome.
I flip him a gold piece, I pinch it off a little bit, and I hand it to him, and I say, well, the reason I was going to have you do it is because I don't have time, but here you go, gentlemen. Enjoy on me. Dreamer's blessings with you. And I turn around.
Yeah, the other one, he looks over to
And
his
I
buddy,
look
and
up.
he's like, Billy, we're drinking tonight.
We're drinking the good
That's
stuff.
awesome.
He's probably not had a gold piece on him to his name in a long time. But,
No, he's the target.
yeah. But real quick, while you guys are finishing up your transaction, where are you guys going to head off to next?
I want to go drop off this pound of tackle
Okay.
before anything, but other than that, I mean, it's up to
I'm
Hunter.
following you.
Oh, I say we rejoin the party
Actually-
in the library then.
I would like to go pick up some more crossbow bolts because I've used a couple.
I got you. I'll say on your way up the Evermarch towards Brant, it's no problem at all to find a great many numbers of vendors that stock bolts. You can find there's a great many bolt manufacturers, and as you're kind of browsing the shop fronts, most of the things that you're seeing, as I just kind of take this opportunity to give you guys a little tour down Marglin's main road, most of the shop fronts you're seeing are selling general goods stores, glasswares, silverwares, clothing. There's farriers, there's bag makers, there's just a lot of general consumer goods. But a few weapon shops you're able to find. You're only roll me a perception check, just as you kind of make your way up the road.
As we're going, would that bag maker
one?
be able to make a bag of holding? Or would they have one?
Let's see, hold on just 1 second. What was your roll there? Sorry, for your perception.
21.
21. Finn, I'll get to you here in just a second. Sorry, I just want to.
Oh, sure. Take your time.
Yeah, I know. I just want to get her addressed real quick. You only see one shop along the road, at least as far as you guys are walking towards the tap house. You only see one place that is it's called Forge and Stone. You see that they have a sign in the window that says rodeos in stock, but the rest of the shops look like they're selling crossbows that are similar construction to Finn's crappy bandit one that he'd kind of stolen, or not stolen, but claimed. So it looks like a lot of
I believe we call that acquired.
well, yeah, it's a lot of, and that's a lot of what you guys are seeing in town, is a lot of things that are like secondhand.
I investigate whatever a rodeo is.
You would know. You're familiar enough that rodeo is a very well-respected brand of crossbow that's often imported, that has been making their way up the road. You've heard that it was the first brand that started the revolution, but hard to verify. It's
Can we
just
say that that's what we say that that's what Hunter's crossbow is? Can we say it's a rodeo?
That's kind of what my headcanon was. 485th rodeo. It's just a normal
For
crossbow.
just a little bit of back story, Will. So Jelly's character Margot, his primary weapon had like a shotgun style effect, and it was called the Third Rodeo.
Yeah,
He was supposedly the inventor of the crossbow in this area.
well, loopholes, but yeah. Actually,
he's credited with being.
The actual inventor is another person that Will knows. That'd be Mr. Barnabas Smythe. Well, he knows the robot version of him. But yeah, you find the one shop, Forge and Stone, looks like it's actually a decently supplied smithy that's got Borealan flags out front of it. So that's good to know. And you're able to easily grab a bundle of crossbow bolts for the do you happen to have handy what the price is in Beyond? Because it is a modified price here on the coast.
I'll see if I can find it.
I can pull it up here as well.
Pulling it up right now.
Oh wait, for crossbow bolts, I'm pretty positive it's standard rate. I think is one GP is like 20 bolts.
Okay, so
that might just be for arrows.
Out here on the coast, that would be 5 silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just off the top of my head, just because I played in archery recently.
Yeah. So yeah, you can you just subtract 5 silver from your inventory, and you are good to go. And in the meantime, while you guys are shopping and making your way back towards the tap house, we'll return to the library where you guys are gathering around the table with the Margrave Lothar. He gathers you guys in and he says, "Okay, so the reason I was asking about this ghost ship, where you might have heard about it from, is it's, how do you say, I suspect there might be a little truth to it, if we're being honest. I began hearing whispers of it myself, not through normal means or normal methods, mind you. I have my ways. And I don't mean to come across as a little suspicious sometimes. I'm just very, very suspicious all the time. It's occupational hazard, as it were. There's corruption out here everywhere. As you can probably tell by looking around the town, in fact, it's a little bit horrible, a little disheveled. It's only 10 years old. It's kind of hard to believe, right? There's a reason for that. We'll get to that here in just a moment, though. This ghost ship, though, it's... And he looks back to you, Cal, and he's... You're really not with the Blue Sky?
No, I'm just here on my own.
Okay.
You notice every time... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, every time he mentions that, Maylee's ears, like, flatten like a cat, like the airplane ear things, when they're annoyed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to be sure. Okay. Taking an awful risk. We've been having problematic shipments come in from the Blue Sky. Or at least to the Blue Sky, where it's hard to follow. We're finding a lot of empty boxes, and it's concerning. It's this drug that's been showing up everywhere. At first it was just Port Umbra, but it's everywhere out here now. You can't, it's literally everywhere. It's easier to get a hold of than the stuff that's safe for you. It's horrifyingly addictive. It's problematic indeed because, well, it's become quite popular and quite the epidemic. And we don't know where it's coming from. And the only link we have is boxes from Blue Sky. So if you could understand my hesitancy.
Interesting.
But this boat popping up out of nowhere. Ghost ship, as they say. I don't really believe in ghosts, you all. Hard to say.
Considering a ghost is a form of undead, it's off topic.
My
There
God.
are many things we aren't aware of.
Well, fair enough, I guess, to be fanciful. I've got a city to try and put back together. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Because while I want to trust you all, I'm having a hard time with it. It's just my nature. You'll have to forgive me or not. I don't care, but I would like your help. But I need to see if it's worth my time. There's something you could possibly help me with, and you'll be paid. And not just paid in money, but I'll also pay you handsomely in information.
Does that information include magic?
What sort of job is this you're needing?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm new to town. The old Margrave is a dreadful sort. The Honorable Lord Arwen Falcom. He left the city to ruins, to run, He was the Margrave since the town was established. The common folk don't even know it, but he didn't actually retire. He's the reason the city is as it stands. Broken, disheveled, not a decade old. But in any event, he runs the mining outfit here in town, so as much as we hate him, it's hard to get rid of him when there's just so much bloody silver down there. It is what it is, a necessary evil. But in any event, one of the miners went missing a few days back, which normally that's the kind of thing you post on the job boards and the taverns, but this is the fourth in as many weeks to go missing. I'm starting to think that there's more than silver in those tunnels, and it makes me nervous. I'm trying to get the city back to good, but if this drugs are coming in from somewhere and no one knows where, people are going missing in the mines, you see how I'm trying to put things together. I was wondering if you guys would be dolls and go check it out for me.
Do you wish us to exterminate anything that is within those tunnels that is not supposed to be there?
Well, I'd probably rather not know your methods. As long as you don't make a mess that I have to clean up, I think we'll be okay.
These terms are acceptable.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
would also like to do an insight check.
Absolutely.
A 10. I was gonna say I'm trying to determine if he's more trying to get rid of us or trying to get something solved, but probably don't have much of a grasp on it.
Modified 20.
How in the hell does this robot that doesn't know what people are know what people are really well?
Yeah, apparently he's adapting, which is terrifying.
They're learning.
They're learning.
How Skynet happened.
I can't believe you do that, Dave.
I love saying that to David.
Where is Kyle Reese?
Give me your clothes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tome, and Melee, he definitely seems like he's genuinely trying to suss you all out. Tome, you can tell he seems genuine. He's concerned for the town, and he's concerned about whether or not Calandra's on the level, and by extension, all of you. But he doesn't seem to be doing anything shifty with a 20.
Very well. If there is anything nefarious hidden within these mines, they will be tastefully exterminated.
Well, and don't go all guns a-blazing if you don't have to. I mean, we would love to get our hands on anyone with any information as well. We might even
Affirmative.
be able to provide an extra stipend if they are brought back. At least someone is brought back alive.
Very well. I will set my parameters to stun.
But please be careful. Please be careful. There are miners and good townsfolk there. And not to mention our town's entire future in silver, because this road is not going to last.
Do not worry. I do not possess any concussive magic yet.
Don't you think the road's gonna last?
That is also a good question.
He points to Calandra again. It's all the boats now. Naval trade is taking off now that the Austrians, little nosy shits, have completed their lighthouses along the coast. This is veritable triangle that goes back and forth between the archipelago to the south and up to Centris and over to Port Umbra and then down again. I know it's not a triangle, but you have to just use your imagination. They're running us out of business, and the Borealans don't seem to want to push inward, so...
We'll have to eventually.
Well, it's just a matter of us surviving until that point, then, my dear.
Yes.
And, you know, it's probably a good thing if we can get the drugs out of here, because if there's not people alive anymore to... Because this stuff is... Well, all I can say is, if you encounter the stuff, I don't recommend trying it.
I most certainly will not.
What's it called?
It's... Have you not... It's called Fern. It's a powder. We don't know much else about it, where it comes from, who makes it. Is it natural? Is it... All we know is it's an incredible stimulant. It has a tremendous impact on the body.
It's an incredible stimulant.
He looks over to you, Adrian. Adrian, roll me a persuasion check.
Very good. So we got... Oh, that's going to be a 23.
He makes dead eye contact with you and says, incredible. But it's hell on the other side. Took me 6 months to get off of it.
All magic comes at a cost.
I did indeed. And I regret it to this day, but it spurns me onward to try and stamp it out. You got a baggie. You could always try it.
Oh shit, no, I'm not interested. I'm not looking to get addicted to anything while I'm trying to...
I do not think it is physically possible for me to get addicted to drugs.
Well, that's good to know. Although
I
I'd
am
be...
pretty positive... Oh, sorry. I was going to say I am pretty positive my core would incinerate whatever I put into my butt.
Yeah. You are an odd sort, aren't you?
Yes, indeed I am.
What on earth? You're clearly some type of magical. That's all I know, though. I'm not.
Oh, this is merely armor. I am a human being.
Yeah. And I'm Lord Regent himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that something you've tried to claim before?
Not yet, but yes.
I would I would highly recommend you stick to
To that.
anything else, any other excuse. But you're an interesting one. You seem quite. You're interesting. Interesting.
Yes, but the truly interesting one is my friend, points at Aaron. Trying to deflect any attention away from me.
He's interesting in another way, but you're all kind of interesting. Do you all have permits then?
Yes.
Well, splendid. Splendid. If you all also wouldn't mind, we do need to use the library. We have a business council meeting. They use the long table. It's the only place for it. So I don't mean to shoo you out, but I'm shooing you out.
That's very optimistic of you.
I do my best.
Are we at the long table?
I don't know. I mean, there's kind of like side tables and
like
whatnot
covered in
around. Yeah. There's
Is he like asking us to straight up leave the library or just move?
politely, he's asking you to scram for a little while at least. Sorry, darling, it's closed doors. Local politics.
I understand.
It's a bore,
We'll come
but
back later then.
quite.
I guess we'll have the librarian to just like hold the books we were using.
She, it's not really a librarian, but as you guys kind of make your way out, Hildy's sitting at the front desk, and you mentioned that. She's like, well, yes, we can definitely do that. We'll hold them. Like, I don't think anyone else is going to be in there except for the old farts and the Richies. And they don't go into read books. They just go into talk about what the price of salt is and things like that. Pretty boring. I'm here for the tax law. That's my thing. That's what gets me going.
Yeah, it's much more interesting
Oh,
than
it's
a
tough.
business meeting.
Absolutely. You know that I like you. You like the taxes, yes. Yes. Heck yeah.
Namoros says, "You can't tell, but I'm rolling my eyes right now."
Oh, it talks. That's quite a trick. I like it. It won't eat me, will it?
Voice comes out of the skull. No, you're okay.
Okay. Right. I like you then, little Bobby Head. I like you.
The question is, where would you go?
Cotton Eye Joe.
That is the mystery.
Floating.
So many questions. So many questions. So little time.
Heck yeah. But yeah, it's right around midday right now as you guys are kind of stepping back out into the streets. There's a little bit of a flurry falling, but it's pretty nice. Most of the streets have been cleared by wagon and traffic, if not by shopkeepers clearing their steps and things of the like. So, well, sure, a little snowstorm, maybe a half a foot all in, but life goes on. What are y'all up to? There is the smells of cooking food all around, and the prospect of possible activities up at the mine.
Shall we get some lunch?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely hungry.
I enjoy the action, though I do not require it.
That's nice.
Yes. If I well, I mean, I experimented with these berries because I did not know whether I required sustenance or not. I found out that I do not. What a great story.
That was a great story, Tom. Hey, you said you can incinerate anything?
Well, I mean, anything that I ingest, I do not possess a stomach. It just kind of points directly at his chest. Everything goes into here.
Huh.
Any food, drink, or any other organic substance is burned down and converted into fuel. Though it is not as efficient as simply rest. I believe the term you humanoids use is resting. Though for me it is simply...
Some people sleep a lot.
I used to sleep.
That's the
I
most,
slept every,
that's the most
I slept.
depressing thing I've ever heard.
I slept every night for a month, but it became too painful.
Oh, I'm sorry to
I
hear
had
that.
an ex like that.
He kind of looks off in the distance. Yes, far too painful. But
Oh.
I am distracted.
Yeah, what food vendors can we find?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, heck yeah. There are tons. Most of them appear to be selling a type of like a. They're cooking little skewers on charcoal fires that they're then loading into fry bread, like a pita sandwich type of thing. That seems like a lot of them are selling that, or either cups of a hearty, thick, like stew or soup. A lot of it's just simple trade food that can easily be eaten while you're on the road, because that's kind of their main bread and butter is selling to folks that kind of walk by and ride by on their wagons and whatnot. Yeah, you guys just approaching one of the nearby stalls that's, doesn't have too long of a line. Hold on a second. I lost my... Good lord. Man, OBS is just being a trip tonight. But yeah, you guys walk up to a food stall, and it's not your fault. I think it just is telling me, I think it's been telling me for the last year and a half that I need to update it, and I think it's just like finally got to the point where I need to update it. When I update it, it changes all my settings, so I hate doing it. That's how we ended up last campaign with an entire episode that couldn't air because it was entirely muted. Because I updated OBS moments before we recorded. You guys are able to grab either a pita pocket sandwich for a silver piece, or a cup of stew for a silver piece. I can read you what the ingredients are on those here in just a sec, if you're interested. Otherwise, for like a more proper, like a full-size meal, you'd probably have to get to one of the inns or tap houses around town.
Did you say there were meat skewers too?
Well, there are. They
Or-
kind of like load them into the pita bread pockets, but I'm positive you
Oh, I
can
see.
probably talk them into just grabbing a few if you wanted to. She's like, it's real good. It's real spicy. Well, not real spicy, but we put a lot of spices on them. They have a lot of flavor. People like them. Give me just
Interesting. How much? Sorry. Are the cups like? Is that a cup you return, or disposable?
their
How does that work?
price is included. My nephew, he's not quite all right in the head, but he could sit there and carve a bowl. So that's what he does. So it's cheap quality wood, but it'll hold the soup for a little bit and then throw it down or burn it.
I'll take a cup.
Okay, it's a silver piece, and the silver piece if you don't like a semi instead. But it's a wild game, like wild rabbit, herbs, and lentils with a thick broth. It's pretty darn decent. And the meat skewers are lamb. And as you guys are sitting there sampling the local wares, Finn and Hunter do come walking up the road, and Finn, with absolutely no effort, you're able to spot your group over by a food stall.
Lucky to run into you guys here.
Yeah,
I'll take whatever he's got.
Oh, that'll be a silver piece.
I flip him with silver.
Catches it and bites it and pops it and hands you over into food. And, yeah.
Interesting. Yes. Did you find the drugs that you were looking for?
My religious supplement. I
Yes.
have found, yes, and I have.
Maybe he's gonna look around while they're talking.
Ah, yes. The recreational drugs.
No. Erase that from your databanks there, buddy, and it's religious supplement.
So,
Yeah. Oh.
well, I will not delete my previous. I will add religious supplement.
A little asterisk to
I
it.
do the air quotes and I look towards Adrian like, did I do that right? Yes, the religious supplements that make you see visions.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I was able to find some. It's about to make this soup taste mighty tasty.
Heck yeah, it is.
Yes. Interesting. Humanoids require drugs to enjoy food. Most interesting.
At least,
It's
you
not
know,
required, but it doesn't hurt.
drain the rest of my soup and then hand the cup to Tom and say, "Oh man, I'm stuffed. Can you finish the crust for me?"
Very well. I unhinge my mouth and just shove it inside.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
For the fun of it.
I'm talking about the bowl, by the way.
Yeah, for the fun of it, make me a con check, con save. Sorry.
Sure.
We're gonna see if the robot chokes on the bowl.
I do not need to breathe.
Yeah,
What
he's-
happens if a robot chokes
17.
though?
17.
Yeah, you guys watch. He just starts crunching it up, and yeah.
He straight up Mortises this thing.
Yep.
This bowl has very little nutritional value, but I accept it all the same. Thank you, my friend. I do the awkward, like, pat complete.
Hey, if you, I guess if you ever need
And
to,
you're just there eating your little pita pocket like this is entertaining.
need to dispose of evidence.
Well, I'm scarfing down my soup, going, I gotta see that again. And I put the bowl in there and I hand him the soup and bowl. Here you go, buddy.
I do not require any more sustenance, but I do appreciate the bowl. I hold on to it.
Add a bowl to your inventory. Heck yeah.
This will be a good water bowl for Quill.
It's if you care, it's a water bowl from Skeever's Hawker Stand.
Okay, water bowl from Skeevers.
But yeah.
That was mighty tasty. Do you have the recipe for that? I'd love to give it a try to cook on my own.
You trying to steal my recipe and you run me out of business, or what are you
I just want to be able to provide for my friends the wonderful meal that you provided for us when we're far away and not have the real thing.
Yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
Oh, dirty 20, heck yeah. Looks at you, he's like, ain't no harm in telling you. It's just a wanderer stew. Ain't much to it. It's just
I
lentils.
got a notebook and I start writing it down.
Yeah, you right. So it's just lentils. Probably want to load up on the lentils. They're cheap. They're easy. You can carry them anywhere. Load up on the lentils. Then whatever you can find, whatever wild game, rabbit, squirrel, possum, skunk. If you have to, I wouldn't recommend it.
What is this we have here?
Oh, it's just this is a hare we caught out in the pasture. We got get just whatever herbs you can find around that are safe to eat, and just a broth, a tomato or bone. The idea is you cook it down like crazy, and if it's still a little too thin, you just load it up with flour and stir it up. Just cook it out. It's
I'm writing this down.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are now have the recipe for Wanderer Stew, which can be made piecemeal with pretty much whatever you've got around. Mechanically, the way we'll throw this in to have fun with it, I'm just pulling this out of my ass on the spot. But yeah, if you get a recipe for something and you have the ingredients for it, I will give you a beneficial modifier on your survival to cook it. Better than winging it. I dig it.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, you guys have a lovely little meal. Roadside.
I tell him about running into a little weasel of a former acquaintance that I knew. It seemed a little odd that he would be here following me, but he claimed to be just there trying to get his own adventurer's certificate.
Why do you suspect he would be following you?
Because the moment he saw me, he bolted. If it was a coincidence that we were in the same area, we would have just, we're not afraid of each other. He has no reason to be afraid of me. So if he's up to something, he's hiding something, he's running.
Oh, this is good information to know. So if I am startled, I will not blast him.
That is correct. And I kind of describe what he looks like in the most weaselly way I can find.
I feel like in this moment, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to speak for Hunter and say, I did blast him.
He did get shot in the leg, yes. Hunter's quite a good shot, ladies. He's a head.
Interesting.
He's a good addition to the group.
Very well. If I meet this weasel man, I will not exterminate him on sight.
Thank you.
On sight. Second time.
Right.
No, he is not on my kill list.
You have a kill list?
Who is on your kill list?
He kind of pulls his fedora down a little bit more.
Well, for the briefest period of time, turns towards H. He has since been downgraded to the grudge list.
How did you all meet?
Well, it was just a normal day like any other. I was with the animals, making light repairs of my body, when all of a sudden, I noticed someone walking towards the grove where my creator was buried. To say that our first interaction was not pleasant was a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, that hair finally grew back.
One thing, but I will be perfectly honest, I saw him as more of an opportunity. I do not know much about this world. He clearly does.
I was searching for a magus, and
A great mage.
I happened to find their greatest creation, and it just so happens I could use a little
You could
So
say
he,
this is.
so he belongs to you then.
Yeah, that's a strong way to put it.
I do not belong to anyone, and if you take such tone with me again, I will add you to the kill list.
Yeah, I made that
I'm
mistake.
just trying to get the dynamics of the party down, but I wasn't sure.
I am not a thing. I am a man. I am Tome Valares, and you would be best not to forget that.
I will remember that. I bring no ill will, friend. All I'm trying to do is just get the party dynamics down.
Very well.
I know where I met these two ladies at. They were looking for they were looking for a ride in a warm place, and I just happened to have both. We were going in the same direction, and they had my back whenever some bandits disguised as security tried to jump us. I'll tell you what, we took them down pretty quick. But I'm just trying to understand how you all met. And the whole party dynamic, friend.
I understand your mistake, and I hold no grudge. But do not make the mistake again.
Ruby.
Nemoris is gonna float over to Tome and say, "Hey, man, the mortals are a little touchy about death and all that.
Yes.
If you're trying to fit in and learn how they live, maybe don't tell people when you're putting them on your kill list."
That's
An
a
interesting
mental list we should keep quiet.
An interesting point. But what if I do not like the individual and wish to make a point to their face?
I suppose then, yeah.
Very well. I do not make no mistake. I do not dislike you, friend. I understand you merely spoke out of turn briefly. I hold no grudge.
Me
It is a
neither, buddy. Me neither. Hey,
It is.
you and I are going to be friends.
We shall see.
I hope so. And you, Red? Are you leading this bunch?
Well, I put the crew together, and I guess I'm the one getting this work. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm good with coming up with plans.
Then we shall.
Absolutely.
Then we shall continue this mutually beneficial symbiotic relationship.
That sounds like I think he's saying that we're all good and we're all a big family now, right?
Something
That's
like
what
that.
I like to hear. What's on the docket?
Well, we need to go investigate some mines, apparently.
Some mines?
Yeah, there have been 4 miners in 4 weeks that up and disappeared, or something happened to them. It's up to us to figure out what.
Hey, and Adrian, real quick, roll me a history check. You were just on the job board. I want you to see if you remember something.
Okay.
Just as a point of order.
Yeah, I'm not trained in history, which is odd.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, nothing's coming to mind right now, but yeah, the mines, it's easy enough to know where they're at. If you guys are roughly right around here in the middle of town. The mines are up on the far back corner down here, bottom right, or bottom left, sorry. That's where the mines are as the wall kind of builds into a rocky hillside, and at that side of town. And it's a pretty large operation from what you guys understand, but not having been here, at least most of you and anyone that has been, not probably anytime recently, hard to say what the exact deal is there without getting eyes on it. But
Right.
you guys think I can head over now, or?
Hmm.
Might as well. Yeah.
I am fully prepared for this outing.
On.
And if anything should threaten my companions, I will terminate them with extreme prejudice. And his eyes kind of turn red for a second before going back to purple.
Fantastic. We're going to go ahead and cut her off there, and we will return here. It'll be a couple weeks, I believe, as the holidays are fast approaching here in the mortal world of Earth. And we'll be, doing various things with the family, and our recording day falls on Christmas, so that's just not happening. But we will see you guys after the New Year's. Thanks for watching, as always. Take care.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.